Intro music starts gentle, mystical, and inspiring. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a truly captivating story from the Holy Qur'an. It's a tale of immense wisdom, incredible miracles, and a journey from worldly power to spiritual enlightenment. This is the story of a great prophet and king, Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him, and a powerful, intelligent queen who ruled over the prosperous kingdom of Sheba, Queen Bilqis. It's a narrative that has inspired millions for centuries, reminding us of the ultimate source of all power and truth. So, sit back, relax, and let's travel back in time to witness this remarkable encounter between two of history's most fascinating figures. It all begins on a day like any other in the magnificent court of Prophet Solomon. As a king blessed with command over not just humans, but also the jinn, the wind, and even the birds, he was conducting a grand inspection of his vast and diverse armies. His sharp eyes scanned the ranks, noticing every detail. Suddenly, he realized someone was missing. It wasn't a soldier or general, but a small, yet significant member of his avian fleet, the hoopoe bird. Prophet Solomon, being a just and disciplined leader, was initially displeased by this unexcused absence. He wondered where the little bird could have gone. But before his displeasure could turn into punishment, the hoopoe reappeared, fluttering with an air of urgency and excitement. The bird didn't just have an excuse. It had astonishing news that would change the course of history. Panting before the king, the hoopoe chirped, "I have flown to a land you have not known. I have come to you from Sheba with certain news." The court fell silent, intrigued. The hoopoe continued, describing a prosperous and powerful kingdom ruled by a wise and respected queen. "I found a woman ruling over them," he explained, "and she has been given everything of worldly power, and she possesses a magnificent throne." But then the hoopoe delivered the most crucial part of his report, the part that truly captured Prophet Solomon's attention. He said, with a tone of sadness, "But I found her and her people prostrating to the sun instead of Allah. Satan has made their deeds appealing to them and has averted them from the right path, so they are not guided." This news of a nation so advanced and yet so lost in their worship deeply moved the prophet of Allah. He knew he couldn't simply ignore this. As a messenger of God, it was his duty to share the light of truth. Upon hearing the hoopoe's incredible report, Prophet Solomon's wisdom immediately came into play. He didn't just take the bird's word for it. He decided to verify the information while simultaneously taking the first step to guide the people of Sheba. He told the hoopoe, "We will see whether you have told the truth or if you are among the liars." So he composed a letter. This was no ordinary royal correspondence. It was a powerful and direct invitation to the truth. The letter was brief but profound. It began with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and carried a simple, yet life-altering message. "Do not be arrogant against me, but come to me in submission as Muslims." It was an invitation to abandon the worship of created things like the sun, and to turn towards the one and only creator of everything, Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. He then sealed the letter and handed it back to the hoopoe, instructing him, "Go with this letter of mine and deliver it to them. Then stand aside and see how they will react." The loyal hoopoe took the precious message and flew with great speed towards the distant land of Sheba. Back in Sheba, Queen Bilqis was in her court, surrounded by her chief advisors and ministers. The hoopoe, following Prophet Solomon's command, cleverly dropped the letter right in front of her. The queen picked it up, broke the seal, and read its contents. Her expression changed from curiosity to surprise, and then to deep contemplation. This was a letter unlike any she had ever received. It wasn't a demand for tribute or a threat of war, but a command from a powerful king to submit to a higher authority, to Allah. She turned to her council and said, "O eminent ones, indeed, to me has been delivered a noble letter. It is from Solomon, and it reads, "In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Be not haughty with me, but come to me in submission." The weight of this message was immense. She was a sovereign ruler, accustomed to giving orders, not receiving them. She was confused, yet intrigued. Deep down, a spark of curiosity about this King Solomon and the God he worshipped was ignited. Her ministers, fiercely loyal, suggested a military response, boasting of their kingdom's strength. But Queen Bilqis was wiser than that. She understood that brute force was not the answer here. She decided against aggression and instead chose a path of diplomacy and investigation. She wanted to test Solomon, to understand the nature of his power and the source of his authority. So she prepared a magnificent gift to send to him, thinking this would reveal whether he was a worldly king seeking riches or a true prophet of God. However, she also made a pivotal decision. She would travel to his kingdom herself. She needed to meet this man, to see with her own eyes and hear with her own ears, to discover the truth for herself. This journey would be the first step towards her ultimate destiny. As Queen Bilqis and her grand procession made their way towards Prophet Solomon's kingdom, he was already aware of their coming through the divine knowledge granted to him by Allah. He wanted to show her a sign, a miracle so profound that it would leave no doubt in her mind about the power of the one true God. This sign would not be a display of military might, but a demonstration of power beyond human comprehension. Turning to his court, which included humans, jinn, and learned men, Prophet Solomon posed a challenge. He asked, "O chiefs, which of you can bring me her throne before they come to me in submission?" The throne of Queen Bilqis was legendary. It was a symbol of her wealth, power, and sovereignty, and it was heavily guarded back in her palace in Sheba, hundreds of miles away. Immediately, a powerful Ifrit, a mighty one from the jinn, stood up and boasted, "I will bring it to you before you rise from your place. And indeed, I am powerful and trustworthy for this task." This meant he could bring the massive throne in just a few hours. Before the king's court session for the morning had concluded, this in itself was an incredible feat, a display of the supernatural powers under Solomon's command. But then something even more astonishing happened. A man from Solomon's court, one who possessed knowledge from the scripture, spoke up. He didn't boast or make a grand statement. He simply said, "I will bring it to you before your glance returns to you." In other words, in the blink of an eye. And before Prophet Solomon could even blink and refocus his eyes, there it was. The magnificent, ornate throne of the Queen of Sheba, instantly transported from her palace and placed right there in his court. Prophet Solomon immediately turned to Allah in gratitude, saying, "This is from the favor of my Lord, to test me whether I will be grateful or ungrateful." This was not a magic trick. It was a clear, undeniable miracle from Allah, demonstrating that his power is absolute and instantaneous. The stage was now set for the queen's arrival, and for a revelation that would change her life forever. Finally, the moment arrived. Queen Bilqis and her envoy entered the magnificent court of Prophet Solomon. As she walked in, her eyes immediately fell upon a familiar object. She stopped astonished. There, in the middle of this foreign palace, stood her very own throne. To test her intelligence and perception, Prophet Solomon, having had the throne slightly altered, asked her, "Is your throne like this?" She looked closely, examining the intricate details she knew so well. It was hers, yet subtly different. Her wise and careful response was, "It is as if it is the very same." She didn't jump to conclusions, showing her sharp intellect. But this miracle, combined with the fact that her expensive gifts had been politely refused by Solomon, who stated that what Allah had given him was far better, had already begun to open her heart. The final decisive sign was yet to come. Prophet Solomon then invited her to enter a grand palace he had specially prepared. As she approached the entrance, she looked down at the floor. It was a vast, shimmering, translucent surface that looked exactly like a deep body of water. Thinking she was about to wade through it, she instinctively lifted the hem of her long dress to keep it from getting wet. Seeing this, Prophet Solomon gently explained, "Indeed, it is a palace whose floor is made smooth with plates of glass. It wasn't water at all, but a brilliantly polished crystal floor, so clear and perfect that it created a flawless illusion of a lake." In that very moment, everything clicked into place for Queen Bilqis. The letter, the rejection of her worldly gifts, the impossible miracle of her throne, and now this incredible palace that defied perception. She realized that the power Solomon wielded was not of this world. It wasn't the power of a king, but the power of God, his creator. The sun she and her people worshipped was a mere creation, while the Lord of Solomon was the creator of the sun, the glass, the jinn, and everything in existence. Humbled and overwhelmed by the truth, she stood in that glass palace and made the most important declaration of her life. She turned her face towards the heavens and said, "My Lord, indeed I have wronged myself, and I submit with Solomon to Allah, the Lord of the worlds." In that instant, a powerful queen abandoned falsehood and embraced the eternal truth. Her quest, which started with curiosity, ended in faith. And so, the story of Prophet Solomon and Queen Bilqis concludes, leaving us with timeless lessons. This beautiful account from the Quran teaches us that true power, true wealth, and true honor do not lie in magnificent thrones, vast armies, or grand palaces. These are all temporary. The greatest kingdom, the most profound wisdom, and the ultimate honor lie only in recognizing and submitting to the greatness of Allah, the creator and sustainer of everything. Queen Bilqis was a wise, powerful, and respected ruler, but her wisdom reached its peak when she used her intellect to seek the truth and had the humility to accept it when she found it. Prophet Solomon, despite all his unprecedented power, remained a humble and grateful servant of God, using his gifts to guide others to the right path. Their story is a powerful reminder that no matter our status in this world, our ultimate purpose is to know and worship our Creator. True success is not measured by what we rule over on earth, but by our closeness to the Lord of the heavens. Thank you so much for joining us on this inspiring journey today. We hope this story has touched your heart as much as it has ours. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories of faith and wisdom, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, may peace be with you.